Welcome to Hug Me Inc.'s orientation video. We would like to thank you for taking the time to volunteer your talents to our nonprofit organization. This video has been made to orient you with Hug Me Inc. and the Manchester High Series project. First, let's start with a little history about Hug Me Inc. Many of you may be familiar with the fact that our nonprofit name is actually an acronym representing our organization's mission. The letters in Hug Me Inc. stand for Helping to Unite by Generating Mental Empowerment. That is what Hug Me Inc. is all about. We work to remove stigma from mental illness by educating through film, theater, poetry, literature, music, and the arts. We empower by informing the community on available mental health care resources, and we promote sustained recovery through participation in the arts. Hug Me Inc. was started in October 2011 by co-founders Sharon Luna and Nicholas Holstein after they met at the 2011 NAMI Texas conference. Our name was originally set to be the Love Me Project. However, due to state requirements, it was changed to our current name in the spring of 2012. Both co-founders of Hug Me Inc. have a deep personal passion for helping the community and empowering individuals and their loved ones to obtain improved mental health services. Sharon Luna, Hug Me Inc.'s executive director, is a native of San Antonio. In 1986, when Sharon was a teen, her older sister Evangeline, who was in her 20s, was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. The illness rattled their family. For many years, Sharon felt powerless to help, and so she withdrew, choosing to pursue her own life, attending college, and eventually working as a chemist, 8th grade science teacher, farm tech instructor, and business manager of SWC Voodoo Lounge. All the while, Sharon wrote poetry as her own self-therapy to deal with her own struggles and the sense of helplessness she had in regards to her sister. In the early 2000s, shortly after the death of their father, Evangeline's primary caregiver, Sharon realized that she had to step in to help her sister, but she didn't know how. It wasn't until 2011, when she found NAMI San Antonio, that things changed. Sharon was given information necessary to empower her in improving the mental health of her sister. So in gratitude, Sharon co-wrote and coordinated the publication of On Mended Wings, a poetry anthology benefiting NAMI. It was then that she realized how important education is to help avoid delays in treatment and to sustain recovery. Sharon does not want others to suffer unnecessarily as her family did before they discovered the resources available to them. And so she works passionately to promote Hug Me Inc.'s mission through her love for the arts. Nicholas Holstein, Hug Me Inc.'s artistic director, also shares both personal and professional experience in the area of mental health. As a college student, Nick was faced with a diagnosis of bipolar disorder and a discouraging prognosis from the medical staff. He was told that his illness would prevent him from success, but Nick did not listen. In fact, the discouraging prognosis motivated him to learn more about how he could improve his own mental health. Nick went on to graduate college with a bachelor's degree in sociology from the University of Texas at San Antonio, and his love for the arts led him to take numerous theater classes, emphasizing on stage management and set design from the University of Mississippi. Theater was his own form of self-therapy. Subsequently, Nick continued his education in mental health. He went on to obtain numerous facilitator certifications from mental health organizations across the country, such as Why Try Secondary, DBSA Suicide Prevention, the Jason Foundation Youth Suicide Prevention, Focus for Family, and International Peer Support. He is also a Texas Certified Peer Support Specialist. Before joining Hug Me Inc., Nick was already hard at work performing plays for several mental health organizations in Texas. Today he continues that work with Hug Me Inc. and has extended his reach into film as the writer and director of Manchester High. Now that you know a little bit about our history and the history of our co-founders, I'd like to share with you the history of Manchester High. Manchester High is an idea initiated by our artistic director, Nicholas Holstein. It showcases teens in real situations such as depression, suicide, bullying, fitting in, popularity, dealing with divorce, drugs, alcohol, cyberbullying, and other mental health issues that teens go through. Why did we choose to focus on teens, you may ask? The statistics say it all. According to the WHO World Mental Health Survey, Prevalence, Severity, and Unmet Need for Treatment of Mental Disorders, published in the June 2004 Journal of the American Medical Association, half of those who will ever be diagnosed with a mental disorder show signs of the disease by age 14, 3/4 by age 25. Few get help. In recent years, about 80% of serious cases went untreated in poor countries, and 35 to 40% in richer countries. The median delay in getting treatment across all disorders is nearly a decade, contributing to a greater severity, co-occurrence of mental illness, and lower success rates as people age. Other national statistics published in our film website indicate that about 20% of teens will experience depression before reaching adulthood. Between 10 to 15% of teenagers have some symptoms of depression at any one time, and about 5% of teens suffer from major depression at any one time. Dysthymia, a type of mild, long-lasting depression, affects about 2% of teens, and about the same percentage of teens develop bipolar disorder in their later teenage years. 15% of teens with depression eventually do develop bipolar disorder. Teen depression can affect a teen regardless of gender, social background, income level, race, or school or other achievements. Bullying is another area of concern that can seriously affect mental health. According to DoSomething.org, 2 out of 3 teens are verbally or physically harassed every year. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention defines bullying as actions when a person or group repeatedly tries to harm someone who is weaker or who they think is weaker. Sometimes it involves direct attacks such as hitting, name-calling, teasing, or taunting, and sometimes it is indirect, such as spreading rumors or trying to make others reject someone. Often people dismiss bullying among kids as a normal part of growing up, but bullying is harmful. It can lead children and teenagers to feel tense and afraid. It may lead them to avoid school, and in severe cases, teens who are bullied may feel they need to take drastic measures or react violently. Others even consider suicide. For some, the effects of bullying last a lifetime. These facts are alarming, and so Hug Me Inc. has chosen to focus its film efforts on early intervention with teens. Why film, you may ask? Well, Hug Me Inc. realizes that discussing mental illness is still somewhat taboo. Although recent events in the news have opened dialogue, there is still much to do to remove the stigma. In order to minimize the effects of that stigma and its effects on distributing information, Hug Me Inc. has decided to bring information to the community in a fun, non-threatening manner that most teens and adults enjoy. What can be more fun than a night at the movies? We are pleased to see your interest in taking part in this worthwhile project, and we would like to thank you for your efforts. Now please stay tuned to the legal portion of our orientation that will cover all the documentation given to our film project volunteers. We will see you at filming. Hello, Hug Me Inc. crew or cast. My name is Sharon Luna and I'm the Executive Director. Today we're going to be going over the documentation orientation part of your orientation. The first thing that we're going to be discussing is some of the forms that you should have received that are required for Southwest Preparatory School. They are actually the location that we will be filming at. So we will need to have you fill those out. The first form looks just like this one. And this is actually a background check. It is required for all individuals that are going on campus as well as for parents. So if minors are having their parents stay on campus, we do have to have the parent complete that. The second form that Southwest Prep is having us fill out is called a liability release form. Looks just like this one. And again, this is to hold them not responsible if you take the responsibility for anything that may occur while you're filming Of course, we do take every precaution to make sure that everybody is safe, and but we do need to have you complete this as well. If the parent is going to be staying on campus, they also need to have this form. All talent and crew, you should have already submitted a talent application as well as, or a production crew application. So these are these two forms. All of your information needs to be placed on these. So they should look similar to this. I believe there may be a different version that you might have, but they are also the same, information. Okay, let's see here. Everyone also should have gotten a form that's the actual contract, a talent agreement, or a production crew agreement, and this is going to be the longest portion of this orientation because I'm going to be going over all of the different criteria when you sign this document. This is only for the cast, and the crew parents do not need to sign this form. So I'll be going over those steps. This agreement, it should have your date on there. It says this is specifically for the Manchester High web series. You are under contract until December the 31st, 2013. And at the end of that period, we may be extending an offer to extend this contract with you, but this initial contract only extends through that time. Number 2 on that item says that the talent understands and agrees that the production mentioned above is a non-union production, and there will be no residuals of any type of payment due in connection with said production, including promotional events. So because we are a nonprofit organization, all cast and crew are working on a volunteer basis, so that item basically explains that. Item number 3, talent may earn community service hours for his or her time performing under the volunteer gratis performer. It's the talent's responsibility to request in writing within 30 days of that signed contract for those community service hours to be recorded. We need to know that so that we can keep track when you actually show up on set. Number 4, talent understands it is his or her responsibility to complete all necessary rehearsals, performance, and promotional events for the production. So you will be getting information from the artistic director, Mr. Nicholas Holstein, for any of those types of events. Of course, since this is a volunteer basis, we will try to make accommodations for that. But we do request that you do complete those, specifically rehearsals, because everybody who is going to be in the filming needs to be prepared, and that way we can stay on schedule and be respectful of everybody's time. Item 5. Talent shall arrive on time for rehearsals, meetings, promotional events, breaks, and any events related to the production. Pretty self-explanatory. Also, we do want to respect everybody's time because we know that you have other lives, and this is all volunteer basis. Item number 6, talent will be expected to show respect to production staff and other cast members. That's just to ensure that we do have a productive filming and that everybody enjoys their time spent on set. Number 7, talent understands that no smoking, drugs, or alcohol will be permitted during any rehearsals or events associated with the production. Talent caught under the influence will automatically be subject to termination from the production, as well as acquiring any legal actions. So again, that's for the safety. We do have minors, and also to ensure that we do actually do productive work while we're on set. Item number 8. Talent is also responsible for any court or attorney fees incurred by the producer for any matters set forth due to negligence of the talent, such as damages, fines, contract breaches, etc. And again, that's pretty self-explanatory. Item 9, talent will be required to attend any trainings, rehearsals, or workshops assigned by the producer. And again, our artistic director will be in touch with you if you do need to attend some of those events, and we will work with you as well. Number 10, all electronic devices, including but not limited to cell phones, pagers, gaming systems, laptops, etc., must be turned off or put on vibrate or silent while in rehearsals, meetings, or filming. And that is also so that we don't have to waste time taking retakes if somebody's cell phone goes off. We want to make sure that that doesn't happen during filming. Item 11, talent is responsible for appearance set forth by the producer. No altering of hairstyle, color, weight, any body piercings, tattoos are allowed unless approved by the producer, and that is to ensure that we keep everybody in character. Item 12, Talent under the age of 18 must have written permission to leave rehearsals, productions, or filmings with other cast members or adults not legally known as the talent's guardians. And that's going to ensure the safety of all minors, because the minors will be put in our responsibility during filming if the parent so chooses to leave the child with us and not remain on set. We don't want to have any adults taking minors off set. Item 13. Friends, family members, agents, managers may not be present during rehearsal, filming, or any time on set unless written approval has been given by the producers. And minors, however, must have a parent or guardian on set, or they must have a written release submitted to the producer that they'll be dropping off their minor in our charge. And that will occur at the day of filming. So if you have a minor and you can't stay there with them, just see myself at the door, and we will have you fill out the release form so that you can leave them with us. Number 14, talent may not deface a producer's name or production in any form. No negative communication is allowed on Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, or any social networking, including exchanges of emails, cell phone, other websites, or other forms of communication. We do want to make sure that this production goes well and that we don't have any negative information out there. Number 15, talent will be responsible for printing and copying documents such as scripts, production schedules, contract, and other documents required for the production. All of those should have been sent to you through email, so you can print those. We will have a limited number of copies available on set in case somebody does forget them, but we do suggest that you have them prepared in advance, because that makes everything go smoother if all the paperwork is turned in and taken care of before you show up on set. Number 16. Talent will not edit, rewrite, copy, translate, record any part of the script without the writer's written consent. This is a violation of copyright law. Talent will be held responsible for any fines, court fees, or legal procedures due to this infringement. And again, this production is copyrighted, so we cannot make any adjustments to that. Talent is not authorized to do that. Talent allows a producer to use the talent's photograph, name, and biographical information for publicity and marketing purposes such as, but not limited to, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, production website, company website, other websites and forms of media, including radio, television, print, and associated to the production for unlimited use. So again, any photographs that our staff will be taking can be utilized for those purposes. Number 18, talent agrees that producer may tape, photograph, and record his or her voice and conversation, including quotes, paraphrases, and sounds, for use in and in connection with the production. That's actually kind of a fun thing, because a lot of times we get bloopers, so some of our footage we utilize that as well. Number 19, talent may not release any filming, stills, or photographs of the production without written consent from the producer. This includes posting photos on Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, any part of the film on YouTube, actor's personal website, or promo reels, or any such endeavors. Failure to comply will lead to necessary fines and court fees. So again, that is because this is all copyrighted material, so that's another reason why we don't allow cell phones to be taking pictures and posting things up on your site until the production is actually released. If at any time the producer feels the talent is unsuitable to continue a production due to any reason, the producer reserves the right to terminate that contract. Of course, we try to keep all of our staff and crew and cast on board. However, if there's something that we need to deal with and it's in the best interest of the production and everyone involved, you may be asked to no longer continue with the production. Number 21, talent agrees the producer shall be the exclusive owner of all copyright and other rights in and to the production and will be able to use them forever and throughout the world, and to license others to use them in any manner you wish and in any and all media now known or hereafter discovered or developed. So again, that is in the event that we do put things on a website or we decide to distribute the web series in any other form or fashion, we do have that authorization. Number 22, talent is allowed a producer with a limited use of the talent's name, photo, and biography with associated production is set in number 1. So that's pretty much the talent agreement. I will go over the production agreement, but in brief, because it is pretty much the same thing. On the production agreement, most items are the same as the talent agreement. If you are a member of the production crew, please contact me if you have any questions, but you should have been able to follow along pretty much with the talent agreement. The liability release form is the last form that we have. There is one form that is for talent and one that is for crew. Again, the same basic information is on all of these forms. I will read this to you. It says a talent hereby signing this liability release form on a particular date understands that participation in the production of the Manchester High Series, which you need to fill in there, could include actions or tasks which might be hazardous to the participant named above. It acknowledges liability in releasing the producer and the venues, included but not limited to other venues used in the production, and their employees or affiliates from any and all liability of injuries, loss, or damage to personal property that may arise in the event of participation in the film, rehearsing, performing in any events on their property. This agreement also agrees to reimburse the producer or venue for any personal property damage that may be caused. Again, that is to protect all of the facilities that we're going to be utilizing are being donated to Hug Me Inc. as film sites, so we want to be respectful of their location and all of their property. So this agreement shows those facilities that we do actually respect that, and we will take responsibility if anything happens on our part. If a particular actor or actress causes some damage, they will be responsible for caring for that. The following paragraph says, I agree to comply with all rules and regulations set by the producers, general production agreement, and venue representative, as well as the safety provisions of such entities. I further provide my consent for the producer to seek emergency treatment for me if necessary. Minors must have parental consent. I agree to accept all financial responsibility for the costs related to this emergency. And again, the safety aspect of this is because we will have sometimes scenes that deal with equipment, gym, cheerleading scenes, things that physical activity is involved, and we could have some injuries. So we want to make sure that we can offer treatment if necessary, that we have the authorization to call 911 if needed. If you do have an objection to religious belief that does not allow this, please contact me directly, Sharon Luna at business@hugmeinc.org, or you can phone me at 210-275-6140, and we'll work up an agreement that varies on that so that we can make adjustments for your religious purposes. On this document also says if the participant is a minor, then we do need the guardian to sign on the bottom of that form, which will be down here. And I know this is kind of a boring thing, but I think we're pretty much complete. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and we look forward to seeing you on filming day. Thanks.